Welcome to Newsline Live, and you are watching On Point with me. And in this edition, we will discuss the growing rift between Yogi Adityanath and his Deputy Chief Ministers Keshav Prasad Maurya and Brajesh Pathak in Uttar Pradesh. Pretty unprecedented, keeping in mind the discipline which prevails in Bharatiya Janata Party. I have divided the discussion into 7 parts. The first, Deputy CMs meeting with senior RSS leader. Why is it happening? Open revolt in Uttar Pradesh BJP? Fact or fiction? Who is backing Keshav Prasad Maurya and Brajesh Pathak? Is Yogi Adityanath on a sticky wicket? Is OBC versus Rajput the new fight in UP? Why did Yogi Adityanath meet Pallavi Patel? Why bipolls will be the biggest litmus test for Yogi Adityanath? According to the sources, the senior RSS functionary from Eastern UP met Mr. Maurya a couple of days back and discussed the issues the latter had raised during the recent state BJP executive committee meeting. The RSS functionary assured Mr. Maurya that the issues raised would be taken up at a highest level, and he urged him not to air his grievances in public forum. Deputy Chief Minister Brajesh Pathak also reportedly met several important RSS leaders in Lucknow. Now, the first question is, can RSS resolve this issue? And on this, I am joined by Dr. Anil Verma, political analyst, Dr. Mahind Kumar Singh, political analyst, Anupam Mishra, senior journalist, Brajesh Pandey, input editor of Newsline Live Connected. So my question to you, Brajesh, is, can RSS intervention work?
It may. I'm not 100% sure that it will, but it may, because you know what, the situation right now is pretty unprecedented in the last 10 years. As you very rightly pointed out, you know, ever since the ascendancy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, he has been the sole shining star as far as the political fulcrum of UP and also the country is concerned. And you know, the kind of stories which are coming out on a daily basis, almost a daily basis, is something which was unprecedented and unheard of as far as the famed the discipline of BJP is concerned. The reality is, Karthike, that the situation will require more than RSS intervention, and I think the support for Keshav Prasad Maurya and others also have blessings from certain quarters in Delhi. Otherwise, without which they would not be airing their grievances so publicly and openly.
Okay, so you are saying basically the RSS can really work out differences between 3 of them. Now, rumors of tension between Yogi and Maurya have been rife ever since Lok Sabha debacle in Uttar Pradesh. In a recent development, both the Deputy CMs skipped CM Yogi's meeting, which has raised eyebrows. Deputy CMs are seen distancing themselves from Yogi's meeting one after other. On one hand, while Deputy CM Keshav Prasad Maurya was absent from Prayagraj division meeting, on Thursday, Deputy Chief Minister Brajesh Pathak did not attend the Lucknow division meeting on Friday. The buzz gained ground after Maurya's organization grated in the government remark which he made during UP BJP's working committee meeting and was seen as a dig at Yogi. Keshav Prasad Maurya a few days ago also met BJP ally OBC leader Om Prakash Rajbhar and Sanjay Nishad, who had earlier blamed bulldozer policy for the Lok Sabha loss. Adding fuel to the fire was a letter from Maurya requesting information about the implementation of reservation guidelines by the appointments department. Coincidentally, another OBC leader, Anupriya Patel of the Apna Dal S, an ally of BJP, also raised a similar query to the UP government. Her letter, which suggested that position under SC, ST and OBC quotas in states were left unfilled and gradually became unreserved, was also made public. There are also reports that BJP leader in Uttar Pradesh, including some who lost the Lok Sabha elections in side quarters, have blamed Yogi's working style for poor performance in Lok Sabha. Since July 14, Maurya has met number of MPs, MLAs, ministers, cabinet ministers to flaunt his support. So the question is this an open revolt? And let me straight away go across to Dr. Mahind Kumar Singh. Is this an open revolt? Bagawat hai ye?
Definitely, I completely agree with Brajesh that such infighting or factionalism was never seen in BJP since 2014. So definitely there is some fire. That's why this smoke is coming out. But as far as the whole debacle is concerned, I think there are several factors. You can't blame a single person or a single issue for the poor performance of BJP in Lok Sabha elections. But definitely, the Keshav Maurya has, I think, uh, has crossed the discipline, the limit which BJP used to claim it is a disciplined party, and the statements coming out. Dissent is good for democracy, but factionalism is not good for democracy or inner party democracy. But today, one statement has come from UP BJP chief from Rajasthan, somewhere in Rajasthan, that there is not going to be any change in chief minister. My point is that the BJP should immediately settle this issue of whether they are going to change the leadership or going to retain the leadership, what is going to be the organizational structure in Uttar Pradesh, what is going to be the government structure in Uttar Pradesh. They have to decide.
Dr. Bahit Singh, you are basically saying this is for the first time it has happened. Let me go across to Dr. Anil Verma. Sir, is this an open revolt?
I would not say, Karthikeya, it's an open revolt, because it's a revolt not against the party as such, because normally revolts are taken as a revolt against the party. Here you can see that the gentleman involved in this entire game is not revolting against the party, but conversely they seem to have some backing of the high-ups in the party. And I see a federal, point in this entire game. And the most important thing is that these leaders, from where they are getting this strength of behaving like this in a party which is supposed to be disciplined on ideological and organizational grounds. So one reason I could see is that Keshav Prasad Maurya has been nursing an ambition for a long, as 2017. He was, tipped to become the chief minister, and then he had to settle with the deputy minister. But the larger question, Karthikeya, is that when an organization grows and the kind of diversity that our society has, especially the Uttar Pradesh, you find that this inclusion which Mr. Modi has brought in the party and which has taken the party from to 15% vote share to the 50% vote share. So this inclusive politics has also brought in a lot of people who might not be ideologically aligned with the BJP, but they are now in the BJP. Because suddenly this is a development of the last 10 years only. And now that diversity is to be managed. And the diversity and the inclusion has to be managed in the leadership structure also. So what I'm feeling is that diversity and that inclusive approach of Mr. Modi, the party has a little bit failed to accommodate
that is one important point. So that is one important point. But the mood issue is from where these two gentlemen are drawing their strength from. That's the moot question, because they are drawing their strength from someone against someone who is a popular chief minister. Now, the Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav has been taking digs at the turmoil going on within BJP in Uttar Pradesh. Let us play out his reaction first.
कि कुछ लोग मोहरा बन गए हैं, वो मोहरा हैं, दिल्ली के वाईफाई के वो पासवर्ड हैं। ये नई तरह की टेक्नोलॉजी, तो टेक्नोलॉजी के हिसाब से बोलना पड़ रहा है। आप समझ गए हो कौन मोहरा है? सुनने में आया कि मौर्य जी मोहरा हैं, दिल्ली के वाईफाई के पासवर्ड हैं। अगर दिल्ली वाले किसी से मिलते हैं तो लखनऊ वाले भी मिल रहे हैं किसी से, तो बताओ सरकार चलेगी ऐसे?
So Akhilesh Yadav saying that these people are the extension of someone who is very powerful in Delhi. And that's the bottom line here, as to how the strength is being gained, from where they are drawing the confidence. Now, Congress leader Randeep Surjewala also commented on the Yogi Maurya rumored rift.
देखिए, उत्तर प्रदेश भाजपा और उत्तर प्रदेश भाजपा की सरकार में जूतों में दाल बंट रही है। उप मुख्यमंत्री को दिल्ली बुलाकर ये बताया जा रहा है कि इशारा किया गया कि योगी जी को ठोक दो। अब मुझे नहीं पता ये दिल्ली में प्रधानमंत्री इशारा कर रहे हैं कि अमित शाह जी ये इशारा कर रहे हैं या नड्डा जी कर रहे हैं, तो वही जाने, उनका घर है। योगी जी अपने उप मुख्यमंत्री और पार्टी के प्रधान को ठोक रहे हैं। अब लगता है बीजेपी में आपसी बुलडोजर वार चल रही है।
Keshav Prasad Maurya is a BJP loyalist and does have the backing of the RSS. He is also an important OBC face in Uttar Pradesh. BJP, after the Lok Sabha loss, has been trying to woo back the non-Yadav OBC vote base they lost to India bloc. Brajesh Pathak is an important Brahmin face in Uttar Pradesh. Now the question is, who is backing these two deputy chief ministers? Whose blessings do they have? And now let me introduce senior journalist Anupam Mishra. Anupam, whose backing do they have? Blessings kiski hain?
Acha, there have been a lot of conspiracy theories going around, Kartike. And let us look at the facts. Keshav Maurya, of course, was the state chief when the 2017 elections took place. So he naturally thought that he's the obvious choice for the chief minister. He did not get it. But since then, it has been a downhill for him. He lost his own seat in 2022. That too to a newcomer like Pallavi Patel. Not only that, there are 3 Vidhan Sabha seats in Kaushambi. He lost all 3. There is 1 Lok Sabha seat in Kaushambi. He lost that as well. He lost his seat, he lost his district, he lost the Lok Sabha seat in his district. So that way, he has been totally routed in his own backyard. The only, his only claim to fame right now is that he's the most prominent OBC face of Bharatiya Janata Party. BJP has been trying to put up various OBC faces, but none of them really worked. They tried to bring in Swatan Dev Singh as a Kurmi leader. They made him the state chief, but then they had to surrender in front of Anupriya Patel because Swatan Dev Singh card did not work. They brought in Bhupendra Chaudhary as the Jat leader. That also did not work. They had to get hold of Jayant Chaudhary. So every card that they have played has flopped. Hence, Keshav Maurya is still the most prominent OBC face. But having said that, now that you have been routed in your own background, how can you really claim for the top slot? There has been a theory that he would not have been so vocal had he not had such a backing from the center. That may be true. But the fact remains that
Anupam,
it is
center must have a name. I mean, the center must have a name. It must have an address, a postal address.
Generally, it is believed that it is the Home Minister Amit Shah. Because he has been very pally with Amit Shah. He has been going there and meeting him very often. Let me tell you a couple of things. This is the first election in the life of Mr. Narendra Modi that he did not get an absolute majority. Right from Gujarat to Delhi, from Chief Minister to Prime Minister, the sole first election, first electoral setback for Mr. Modi in his entire political career. And he fell short of 35 seats. And he fell short of 35 seats in Uttar Pradesh. He fell short of 35 seats at the center. Yani he was beaten by the same margin that he could have achieved, the margin that he lost to the coalition in Uttar Pradesh. It is often said that Delhi ka rasta Lucknow se jata hai. It is proved this time. Now my point is that even the backers of Keshav Maurya in center, they washed their hands off because now they know that if BJP is going to lose the 2027 elections, they will not be able to continue at the center. My information is that on 15th and 16th of July, after Keshav Maurya dispatched that letter asking Yogi Adityanath for the reservation details in the outsourced jobs. Okay, that letter hit the headlines. But what really happened? That letter was written on the 4th of June, the day the electoral results came. Keshav Maurya, when he saw the electoral results, he immediately realized that BJP is not making it good in Uttar Pradesh, and this is the time to hit Yogi. But he could not dare to dispatch that letter. After Anupriya Patel started speaking out, after Om Prakash Rajbhar started speaking out, after Sanjay Nishai joined the chorus, he finally dispatched that letter on 15th of July, the day that state meeting was held. 16th of July, he asked for time from the Home Minister. He was told that the Home Minister is busy, he cannot see him, and this is the first time he was refused. He was refused an audience with the Home Minister. Instead, he was told to go and see Mr. JP Nadda, the party president. This is a popular theory now. So many tidbits have come out of that meeting, and it is generally believed that he was given a dressing down by the party chief, and since then he has been pretty quiet. But there have been occasions when he did not join the meeting called by the CM. Now look here, Karthikeya, I have been saying this channel after channel, program after program, last 5 years, two things. Number one, that Yogi has been the chief minister for 7 years, and last 6 years we have been hearing theories, Yogi ja rahe hain, Yogi ko hata rahe, 6 saal se. Number one. Number two, there is another statement that I've been making with practically every program. योगी आदित्यनाथ की सरकार में भारतीय जनता पार्टी के विधायक और मंत्री थाने से मोटरसाइकिल नहीं छुड़ा सकते. Now get this very straight.
Okay, I'll come to this point, because this is part of our discussion. Is it correct that there is disaffection within the MLAs of Bharatiya Janata Party on the ironclad style of functioning of Yogi Adityanath, in which you have a very empowered CMO, but you have a very disempowered MLA?
Absolutely, there's no denying it. You may feel that Keshav Prasad Maurya was not given his due. The fact of the matter is that yes, the election was fought. When the election was fought, he was the state president, and Yogi Adityanath was a surprise choice. It was not that that he was a towering pan UP leader whose popularity was more than everybody else in the state of Uttar Pradesh. And the fact of the matter is that, in private, if you speak to any member of parliament who is from Uttar Pradesh, 70% of the member of parliament and MLAs were of the opinion that the UP chief minister modeled himself on the style of prime minister, where the bureaucracy had a much larger role than the MLAs and the MPs, and it reflected. The dissatisfaction was absolutely acute. And there's no denying it. I mean, post the loss, if you look at the social media feeds and the information which are sent by our stringers back to the national newsroom, there are videos galore of how the local BJP leaders are picking up fights with the SP, SSP.
Anupam, 1 minute to you, then I need to go to the the fifth point, which is part of our discussion.
Let me supplement this with only one fact. Yogi Adityanath had been in power for only 1 year and 9 months in 2019, and 150 BJP MLAs sat on dharna inside the Vidhan Sabha. Imagine, केवल 1.5 साल में, पौने 2 साल में 150 BJP MLAs revolted.
115 BJP MLAs revolted. Mr. Singh, do you think Yogi Adityanath is on a sticky wicket? मामला गड़बड़ है.
Listen, Yogi Adityanath is going through Agni Pariksha ever since he became chief minister in 2017, and the acquisitions are almost same. The point which was raised by Anupam ji, that he was just his tenure was just 1.5 years old, and MLAs were sitting on dharna against his leadership. So there is some string attached, which is trying to destabilize Yogi as a popular Hindutva figure. And the irony is that this resistance is coming from within the BJP, not from outside the BJP, because his popularity has actually transcended the UP boundaries. And he is in demand in most of the states, be it Rajasthan, Gujarat, or even eastern state like Tripura.
Are you saying, Mr. Singh, that he's making some leaders in center insecure?
Definitely. This is precisely my point. That there are some in the top leadership, which is because, as I said, I can see that this is 2010-11 moment for the BJP. Similar things were happening between the center and Gujarat at that point of time. If you remember that the center leadership was trying to stop then Gujarat chief minister for a larger role at national politics. And a similar thing I can assume that.
Okay, I think you have made a very important. I think you made a big point, Dr. Verma. Do you think it's a replay of that Delhi Ahmedabad thing? Or it's a bit of an imaginative overstretch?
No, Karthikeya, this issue that who after Modi is now very openly being discussed, and as you know much better than me, that Yogi has been a very talking point on this issue. So certainly there are certain persons in the leadership structure of the hierarchy who might be at least disturbed. So how to destabilize, how to undo this entire narrative of who after Modi. So that is one point. But Kartikeya, one thing which I'm a little bit surprised is that since the arrival of Mr. Modi, there has been a very fundamental change in the political culture or electoral politics in UP. Earlier, we all knew electoral politics in UP as caste-centric. Everybody talked of identity politics. Everybody talked of caste politics. And that was an era when BJP was restricted to 16%, 15% vote share. Come 2013, when Mr. Modi was anointed the prime ministerial candidate of BJP, and thereafter, and then one very significant change and dent that he has made in UP politics is that he has completely, taken the entire political contestation from caste dynamics to class orientation. And he has tried to wriggle out of that caste calculus, and now he has done a very signal contribution to the UP politics that he has structured 4 classes, not only in UP but all over the country. But it worked very well in UP because UP was caste ridden, and now all those 4 classes we know very well. Women number 1.
Dr. Verma, can it turn into OBC versus Rajput in Uttar Pradesh? And anyhow, Rajput was slightly upset with Bharatiya Janata Party in Lok Sabha election. It's an open fact.
No,
there were a lot of local revolts.
I am coming to that, Kartikeya. Let me complete on this point. The classes that Mr. Modi has structured, and now these 4 classes have completely transformed UP politics and taken BJP to 50%. Now, this is an election where this one surprise defeat of the BJP is being, people are trying to settle scores, and ultimately it is probably, I don't know who is doing all this, but the responsibility is being fixed on somebody. And certainly the responsibility has to go to the state leadership. But I must confess that many people believe that the responsibilities for the BJP's debacle in Uttar Pradesh is being shared equally by the central government for 2 reasons. One is that this 400 par business was never explained to the people of UP why they wanted 400 par, which was, hijacked by the PDA leaders that, well, they want 400 par because they want to abolish the constitution, abolish the reservation that brought the OBC and the Dalits together. That is point number 1. And the point number 2 is that Mr. Nadda, he openly during the election said that the BJP doesn't need the RSS, which was absolutely a bogus, statement to make during the elections. So I think there has to be some responsibility fixed on the central leadership also for the debacle in UP, and not just try to Kali ka bakra banao Yogi ji and get rid of him.
Okay. Anupam, are the bypolls going to be the biggest litmus test for Yogi?
No, bypolls are going to be a big test for Yogi, of course, but that itself will not decide his future. Now, let me tell you, BJP will be going into the assembly polls with Yogi Adityanath in charge. Let me complete this because this is one story that cannot be treated in bits and pieces. First of all, you were talking about this OBC versus Rajput thing. Did you notice how yesterday Samajwadi Party was celebrating Ladies Punitithi? How they were really going, I would say they were going bonkers about it, the way they were celebrating it, calling her the Devi of Samajik Nyay ki Devi. That is how they were writing. What is Poolan famous for? For killing 20 Rajputs in one go. That is all. But her claim to fame has been killing Rajputs. And now social media, it of course reacted in another manner. You could see the Rajput handle sharing the picture of Sher Singh Rana, the Rajput man who killed Poolan Devi. So this was a very planned strike by Akhilesh Yadav and Samajwadi Party. They've had their fun with the Rajputs in the Lok Sabha election. But when it comes to Poolan Devi, she belongs to Malla. Now you get it. It's not just the Malla, it's a huge community. Malla, Evat, Nishad, Kashyap, Nonia, and so many things. All of them comprise 18% of the population, which is only number 2 to the Dalits, who comprise 20%. They are a bigger group than the Muslims. So that group is being targeted by Akhilesh Yadav, of course. Now that he doesn't need the Rajputs anymore, he's targeting this group for the assembly election. Now coming back to that Keshav story, there is no denying Keshav's ambition. It's a very naked ambition from day one. But the fact remains that he is still relevant despite such huge electoral losses one after the another, is simply because Yogi has been unavailable to his party, to his ministers, to his MPs, to his MLAs. Let me give you just one example. Right
1
before
minute
this
to you,
Lok Sabha
Anupam. 1
election-
minute to you. 1 minute.
Okay. Just before this Lok Sabha polls, Yogi Adityanath came on TV and he said that I've told my cadre not to go around the thanas, dalali na kare thane mein jaake. All my journalistic career, I have never come across a single instance where the chief minister of a state has called his own workers dalal on live TV.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So Brajesh, are you saying that the bottom line is that there is a problem with the functioning of Yogi Adityanath?
Well, Kartike, Anupam virtually endorsed what I was saying. The problem is that, Yogi Adityanath started behaving like an IPS officer. Yogi Adityanath, there was complete lack of access. No minister, you can't find 5 ministers who say that they have decent access to Yogi Adityanath. Forget MLAs. MLAs had absolutely no access to the chief minister, and they had no access to the chief minister. The bureaucracy was so top down that the SO in the area. I mean, I remember this thing. A member of parliament who is from Uttar Pradesh telling me inside the parliament saying that, boss, yadi aapka kuch ho jaye na, so I will have to look for 50 things to make sure that that small thing is done of yours. And the bigger challenge, I think, the bigger story is, I can understand all of this, that there is an overbearing chief minister riding on popularity wave, behaving like an IPS officer, with access limited to his cadre. One thing I am still not been able to fathom, and I think that therein lies the mystery. Why is the central BJP completely silent on this? The way BJP has worked from 2013 onwards till the day we are talking about this, one call from Amit Shah would ensure that not only Keshav Prasad Maurya, but Keshav Prasad Maurya, Brajesh Pathak, and all of them would simply fall in line, and we would not see a whimper of protest post that call. So why is the center silent is also a big question.
I think, when going gets good, everything falls in line, everyone falls in line. When, there are issues, political problems, then you have dissenting voices, not off stage, but they become on stage. This is for the first time, and I think it was very rightly summed up by Anupam, that for the first time, Prime Minister Modi did not get a clear mandate. All these issues have come up. If he would have got 273 seats, these issues wouldn't have come up. Lack of mandate has created space for dissenting voices all across party in various forums. But what is happening with Yogi Adityanath is also a telling statement, as Dr. Verma has said, who after Modi and when has become a very pertinent question. And it is for this reason that the parallel power centers are emerging, asserting, and other power centers are trying to counter them.
Hey, careful, huh? My daddy got it from abroad. Hey, disaster! How will you pay for the loss now?
In stock market, you should